In the first video, we set up this banner to go all the way across. This is called a lower thirds banner for a video. The second video, what we're going to do is we're going to add a drop shadow to this, and then we're going to create another vector shape, like a gear type shape, put it over here in this corner. And then we're going to grab the print shop logo and put it over the top of that. So to start, we'll go into our layers, grab our lower thirds banner layer, and then we're going to duplicate it. Control J will duplicate, or Command J on the Mac. You could also click and drag it down to the plus sign, does the same thing. Okay, with this copy, let's move it down so it's underneath the original layer. And you can see that this is still a vector shape. So we have the options up here in our menu, options menu bar. And so with this one, I don't want a stroke color. So we're just going to click on that and turn it off. And then we're going to have some sort of complementary color for this. And I'm just going to do a dark gray. You can do whatever color you'd like. But I want a gray that will show off of the black, but not get in the way visually. And then I'm just going to use my arrow keys. Click on the move tool, click my arrow keys just to move it down and out of the way so I can kind of see it. You can kind of see it peeking there. But I want to blur the edges just to kind of have it fade out. So if I go to the effects button down here on the bottom, and I'll go to drop shadow. Actually, we can go to outer glow. There's a bunch of stuff we could do. I'll do drop shadow. That's fine. Okay, so with the drop shadow, we are going to change the blend mode. You can see it's highlighted here, so I have access to all these. If I were to just click on, like turn it on a different effect, you can see that I'm not in the outer glow. I'm in the drop shadow still. So make sure that it's highlighted gray before you start moving around. I'm going to change the blend mode to normal, and I'm going to change the shadow to gray. And then I can kind of see what's happening here. If I change the distance, change the spread, change the size, you can kind of see it fades out. That's what I'm looking for. The spread will make it go to a solid so it doesn't just fade out. So you're adjusting the fade. The distance, adjust the distance off of that shape, and then the size adjusts how drastic the fade is. If you want to change the blend mode, you can. Some show up, some don't. Again, when we put the video on there, you'll see how it actually reacts to the image underneath. It's kind of hard to show just on a black background, but we'll do screen. I'll do screen. You can kind of do whatever you want, and you can adjust the opacity if you wish. When you're done, hit OK. I'm just going to move this up just slightly. That works for me. All right, so now we're going to make a gear. So we're going to go back into our shape. And for this one, we're going to use a polygon tool. Single click on the page. We'll get our little dialog box here. And we want to make this gear 24 sides. So we have a number of sides here. Let's make it 24. And then we're going to set the corner radius to 500. And star ratio, we will take that at 80%. We're also going to click Smooth Star Indents. And we'll just leave the 100 pixels by 100 pixels for now. We can always change that. So hit OK. And you can see if I click on my move tool, click off of it, and zoom in, That's what we've made. Okay, so now, depending on how big you want it, select it, and then if you just drag, it'll constrain. So it'll stay proportional. It'll just make it however big you want it, and we're going to overlay it on top of our banner here. And so if I'm thinking about these guides and font and information, I don't want to go past this inside guideline. I want to try and set up this this shape so when I put information in here, it's not going to extend past that little piece. Okay, I'm kind of digging the white, so I'm going to leave it white, but I do want to put a black stroke on it. So by clicking on it, getting into your properties and your appearance. If you don't see your appearance, by the way, if you go to window, you can go to properties and then you should be able to get that. Okay, fill, keep it white. I'm going to keep mine white. You can change yours to whatever. And the stroke, I'm going to make it black. And then I'm going to increase the stroke weight. Let's see, it was 22, I think. And then outside, keep it to outside. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that looks pretty good to me. So again, adjust yours however you wish. And the last thing that we are going to do in this video is we're going to go to Classroom. We're going to go to Print Shop Circle logo. So we're going to click on that so we can download it. I have it just as white, and that's okay. We can change that if your background on that circle is white. Click on it so you can download it. And once you download it, you could either drag it into Photoshop, or you can go to Photoshop and go to File, Place Embedded. It's on our computer. It's the last thing that we downloaded. If you don't see it, it's going to be under your downloads or wherever you saved it to. And then hit place. And I can scale it kind of to match the position. Couple things I want to show here. So this is set up as a vector, a smart object. So it doesn't want to make any real changes. We can make some changes, like I just clicked on Control I, that's invert, and it set up a small smart filter to show the inverting. We could set it up, here, I'll just turn this off. We could set it up with a stroke color. So if I go to the effects button and click on stroke, we can turn that into, I want it to be a fill color, not a gradient. We can turn it into a specific color and then change the size. Okay. So we can do that. I guess I kind of like that, if I'm being honest with myself. Again, we can turn anything on or off. Turn that off. And that's not too bad either. Or we could add a color. So if you wanted to do an overlay, so click on it and then I can go to effects and then color overlay. And then you can change it to whatever color you wish. Color overlay, just need to turn that on, turn that off, turn that off. change it to normal so we can actually see it. Take opacity all the way up. There we go. And yeah, I think I like it black. So let's just turn those off, turn this on. There we go. All right. So again, you kind of set it up how you want it, depending on what color background you have. And that'll be it for this one.